my name is Tori, and we're going to go over my lesson plan. My objective is to isolate, pronounce initial, middle vowels, and final sounds in spoken single-syllable words. For my review, we would review over initial sounds, and we would play the Garfield game from the chicken coop. Let me bring it a little closer so you can see. So the chicken coop. So students would have the word turkey. So I would ask them for my question, based on the first picture that appears, I will ask, what is the sound in the initial sound in turkey? And they would say t for turkey. And I would ask them, okay, let's name which one of these has the same initial sound as turkey. And we would hover over them so they knew they were noodles, fish, and turtle. So they would say turtle, and I would say, okay, what sound does turtle have in the initial sound? And they would say t. And then I would ask them, what about fish? What initial sound does fish have? And they would say th. And then what about noodles? What initial sound is in noodles? And they would say no. Then I would let one student come up and click on turtle on the smartboard. So you click on it, and it tells them it's right, and turkey. And then it does a little cute little thing for them. And then we would, after that, we would, the purpose of this is to prepare students for reading fluently and writing. So what they did yesterday was learn initial target sounds. Today we will learn isolating initial sounds, middle vowels, and final sounds. For tomorrow, we will learn segment phonies in words. For our motivation, we will watch a video showing the students how to break down the initial sound, the middle sound, and the final sound. So our video, okay, start it over. Okay. So it takes a second to start, and it's about 45 seconds. So we'd play cat. Don't let it get to the sounds. You want to pause it real quick, and you want to ask them, well, what is the initial sound in cat? And because it's up here, they should be able to see k. And you would ask them, well, what's the middle vowel? And you would say, and they would all say a. And I would say, okay, now what's our final sound? And they would say t. And then we'd let it play to let them know they got it right. And it said mat. So I was like, okay, so now what's our initial sound in mat? And they would say okay, what's our middle sound? And they would say a. And I said, what's the final sound? And they would say t. So we'd let the video continue playing now. And as the video is playing, you want them to kind of say it with it. So it. And then maybe play it again for them because it's real short so they can get the hang of the different sounds it's making. And after we watch that video, we would start our first lesson, which would be the sound quest. Sound quest is the shark. And the head of the shark is the beginning sound or the initial sound. The middle would be the vowel or middle vowel. And the tail would be the final sound. So we'd go over the first one with them. And the first one we pull out is soap and boat. And I would say, okay, well, what sound does soap and boat have in common? And they would all say the O sound. So we'd put it under the middle of the shark. So you would cut it out and glue it. I pre-cut out some so I could go over another one. And then once they did that, we would break up into partners. So, they would get with one partner, and they would work together with their shark. So while everybody's doing that, you walk around the room and kind of monitor them. So another example of this is tractor and table. So it's cut out, so the tractor and the table. And they would glue it under the head because it has the t sound. And yeah, they can write out on the side right here the T sound. After they did this activity, we'd move on to our next activity, which is same sound, which is very similar to Sound Quest, except it's with a train. And the students will do the same thing. They have 36 cards. There's 12 of each one. And you would cut them out, so there's 6, and you'd mix them up, and they would glue them under, first sound, middle sound, last sound. So fish and fan is one, so it would go under our first sound. There's also an answer key attached with this activity. And you do the same thing as the last one. Walk around, monitor, make sure they're saying the initial sound, make sure they're saying the middle vowel, make sure they're saying the final sound, so they can understand which column it needs to go under, if it needs to go under the beginning of the train, the middle of the train, or the caboose. Okay, for our closing activity, we will all get back at our desk, and I will get out the eULM smartboard and project something for them, and it's pictures. So I would show them these pictures and ask them, what are these pictures? And they would say river, and if they didn't know, I'd kind of help them, and an alligator. And they both end in a R sound. And I would ask them, what is the sound? What sound do they have in common? The initial, middle, or final? And they will say final, and I say, okay, now what sound is it? And they would say R. And I would say, okay, now what other words could go with these two? And they could say tractor or zipper or anything like that that would could go under. Maybe let 2 or 3 students choose, because you have a bunch of pictures you got to show them to review. And then we have these two, and it's Florida and zebra. And they both start with a Z. And you'd ask the students, okay, now what sound do they have in common? Initial, middle, or final? And the students would tell you, and then you'd say, okay, now what do they have? What's another word you could add to that group? And they could say zipper or zip line or anything like that. Another set you could show them is coin and cookie. And you would say, okay, what sound do they have in common? And it has the initial sound, because it's coin and cookie. And you could say, okay, what else could go in there? And they could say different things like color or corn. And then there's a few more that you could show them and, make sure they really understand. And then for the homework, I'll show you the homework. Okay, so the homework looks like this. It's just like what they did in the activity. It has a beginning sound, middle sound, and a final sound column. So for each column, they would find 2 objects. They could either draw the objects or find them or print them out or cut them out or whatever they want to do. And, 2 that have the same initial sound, 2 that have the same middle sound, 2 that have the same final sound. So altogether they have 6 objects that they're gluing onto their paper. For our early finishers, the students will do a matching worksheet and color the pictures from the same sound activity, which is a different worksheet. It has the pictures down here at the bottom, and they would cut these pictures out, and they would glue them. And they would work by themselves. They wouldn't work with a partner to do this. And if they finish before everyone else, they can still color them too. For special needs, the student with a reading disability will work with a paraprofessional on saying initial sounds, middle sounds, and final sounds. For a student with an English language learner, will work with a teacher repetitively saying the initial sound, middle sound, and final sound, so they understand the sound. Not only, and then they can match it with another picture. For remediation, I would go back over this activity, the sound quest, and I would make sure I would work with them in a small group, maybe during enrichment time or computer time, and make sure they understand the initial sound, like in zebra and Florida. I'd make sure they know it went under the initial sound. They would make sure they hear that zzz. And same thing as river and alligator. I'd make sure they're hearing the R sound and go under the tail. for the enrichment, the students will get an old magazine. I'll have a bunch of old magazines in the classroom, and they would have 6 pictures that they need to cut out. So just like all the other activities, they cut out 6 pictures, 2 for the initial sound, 2 for the middle sound, and 2 for the final sound. And, you know, they need to look for different ones, you know, maybe find, I have some pictures here of basket and bacon. Maybe they can find a picture of some bacon in a basket and cut them out, and that would go under the buh, and they'd have to make sure they write that sound with it. And that is my lesson. Thank you.